Eclipses were feared from ancient times, and ancient peoples created folklore and legends to explain the celestial events that they feared would never end.
Here's a few of the greatest legends about eclipses.
Let's dig into this.
There are two great Japanese stories to explain eclipses. The first, from the Shinto region, says poison drips from the sky during an eclipse. People covered their wells and even their homes to protect themselves.
Another legend is the tale of two brothers, or sisters, who died and became the moon and the sun. But their little brother or sister, who had not behaved well in life, became a monster when he died. An eclipse is the youngest sibling trying to remove his brothers or sisters.
In another legend, the goddess of the sun has hidden in a cave, creating an eclipse. The only way to lure her from the cave is by using a giant mirror so she can see her own beauty. Once she comes out of the cave, she returns to the sky to share her warmth once again.
In Hindu lore, the demon Rahu is trying to take a drink from the elixir of immortality. The sun and moon report him to the god Vishnu, who becomes so angry he chops Rahu's head off. Rahu's head is now immortal, and so is his anger towards the sun and moon. He will spend eternity chasing them across the sky, swallowing them when he catches them. Since Rahu has no body, the sun and moon can easily return to their rightful place, and the chase begins again.
The Chinese have had some of the best astronomers since the earliest times, and they kept detailed records. The ancient folklore said eclipses were caused by a dragon who would find himself among the stars when he woke from a long sleep. The dragon was hungry and began to devour the sun. To fight the dragon, people would make loud noises, banging drums or whatever was at hand, and shooting off fireworks.
Vietnam has its own story of a creature devouring the sun. It's a giant frog or toad who swallows the sun and has to be convinced to spit it out.
And in ancient Korea, the terrifying fire dogs from the kingdom of darkness would chase the sun and moon, creating an eclipse when they bit them.
In Norse mythology, the sun and moon share the sky with two wolves who were created by the trickster Loki after he is placed in chains by the gods. Loki gets his revenge by sending the wolves to hunt the sun and the moon.
If the wolves ever catch the sun, it will signal Ragnarok, the end of the world and an epic struggle for humanity to survive as the gods fight to the death. The Vikings bang drums or cooking pots, and they yell to scare off the wolves during the eclipse events.
The word eclipse comes from the ancient Greek word for abandonment, and the ancient Greeks believed the sun would abandon them forever and create great misery if the gods became angry enough, and an eclipse was a sign of the anger of the gods.
During an eclipse, the gods would create chaos and kill the king. To prevent this, when an eclipse was predicted, a prisoner or peasant would be chosen to stand in for the king, in the hopes that he would receive the wrath of the gods. After the eclipse, the king would resume his rightful place, while his stand-in would be executed.
In the Peruvian Andes Mountains, the sun is devoured by a puma during an eclipse. Only the screams of children and shrieks of animals will frighten the puma away. We have no idea how the screams and shrieks were created.
Some tribes in Peru shot flaming arrows at the sun to scare off the beast attacking it. And in the 16th century, some areas of Peru were among the few cultures to actually celebrate an eclipse as a good omen.
The Incans worshipped an all-powerful sun god who would show his anger with a solar eclipse, while a lunar eclipse was thought to be caused by a serpent or a mountain lion. They foretold death for a prince. Offerings of silver and gold would be made, and at times human sacrifices were made to bring back the sun.
And in Colombia, native people would shout to the skies, making promises to correct the mistakes they had made to anger the gods and live better lives.
Homo people from the Pacific Northwest have a story that a bear and the sun were both walking through the stars when they meet, and neither will give way to the other. An eclipse occurs when they fight for the right to pass.
Some Native American tribes believed a boy caught the sun in a snare after it burned him. Many animals tried to release the sun, but only the tiny mouse could chew through the ropes.
And my favorite story from the Bella Coola people of Canada. They believed the sun was just a little clumsy and wobbly and sometimes dropped its torch.
And finally, a look at traditions of some parts of Australia, where the sun is a woman named Yai or Yara, and the moon is Balu, a man she has fallen in love with. She chases him, but Balu always runs away. Finally, Yai tells the spirits that hold up the sky that if they let him escape, she will plunge the world into darkness. A medicine man was necessary to fight her immense power.
Let us know your favorite eclipse myth or eclipse experiences in the comments.
Hey, here's another Dragon Den video you might like.
And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button.
And you can hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when our videos come out.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.